Our super admin will give us one. There you go. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Misled. Thank you all for joining us. This is map 2 in a best of 3. CyberRevolution fell to United5's dramatic kills, really dramatic kills, in the first map on DE Cache. Now we're on DE Mirage. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this. I'd like to force a map 3 out of this.
Let's do it.
I wish it was that easy. We could just tell CRev do it, and they would just make it happen instantaneously.
Here comes the run through, and the exchange yields nothing. Virtually no damage whatsoever. Peter walks away with 91 HP, and more importantly, the bomb is now trailing its way toward the bomb site. And in the bomb site is Good Karma, who has had some difficulty holding this for a while now. No smoke this time, so perhaps he makes good on it with the support player mainline nearby. It's going to be a walk-in, and the first player to engage, the entry fragger, has to be Warden in this conga line. Oh, Good Karma looked away at the wrong moment. Still, mainline picks up the kill, and the exchanges are about to happen. Mainline turns, has a double, beautiful kill. And the cleanup by Moses. Next is Peter, who engages, and the rotates have already happened. Everybody's in the site, and everybody's fighting in a very, very small closet. Moses tapped up against the door, turns and wants the headshot, enters the bomb site and charges Peter's position, comes up behind his enemy. Now a 2 versus 1. Big play by Moses. Connor's the last. He's got his P2000, makes a little bit of noise, perhaps as a sound bait, or just because he's got a little bit of a nervous tick, and now he has to enter the bomb site. 1 at the white truck, 1 in the site itself, and that gush is not going to help his cause whatsoever. There's the finished up, and United5 has 1 on the board.
Between Moses and Storm, they play so well together. When it's just them left alone, Moses just on the player bait for Storm, who's just playing the angle from the white truck, or the white van, just playing the angle there on Catwalk, because they know he's Cat. That's a lot of time together for those guys, and you can see it in how they play.
It certainly is, and I've just done it one more time because the audience seems to think that today's volume is just a little bit low, that we've turned up the in-game volume just a notch, so don't panic when you see that, the transition. I know you're delayed. Take a look at the overhead, if you will. 2-1-2 was the split, and it's now coalescing into a 4-1 split with 1 controller at mid. On this eco round, CyberRevolution is stacked together, and so is United5. They may run right into the trap, but in United5's favor, they are together, so making sure that if somebody goes down, they can protect each other's guns, that's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to hold those guns, not allowing CT to get it in their hand here, because that's exactly what CRev wants. If they're not able to win the round, they want to get a gun, or at least force a ton of rebuys.
Good Karma waits, and he'll see Warden perhaps walk up out of the apartments. 1 burst is all it took for him. Then TM joins the fray, and maybe Relics could pick up a kill. He doesn't. Turned 4 bursted. It's a beautiful, beautiful round. Connor! Oh my god!
Oh,
drops him. Can't pick up the gun as it flew away from him. This round could have been so much different if that gun hadn't flown away in that blast.
It was Relics who was hiding behind the far side firebox, wasn't it?
Yes, he was.
Man, that spot is so dirty. If you can just sit there and not get spotted from the guys coming up connector. They didn't spot him. He actually peeked out and peeked the sandwich player. But if he could have played there with Connor below the balcony, those spots might have not got checked, and that could have been dirty. 2 players at the site.
United5 is not one to be tricked by early pushes, and Storm caught Connor peeking. The next one is Relics. He's the second player with the CZ, has 2 kills to his name, and it's evened up because of the CZ power.
Yeah, the gun is the, I like to joke about it being the 3rd best rifle in the game. It's pretty ridiculous.
It really is, and you know what else is ridiculous is when Peter steps out and Moses has nothing to do but jump up and down and say, please don't shoot me. How many times has that happened to you in matchmaking? Here comes the retake force. They're in the smoke by the electric, and Good Karma and mainline may just sprint out. They may have no other choice but to.
I'm surprised there was no shots from Peter right there on that push.
Mainline spams the firebox, and nobody's still there. On top of the E-box now is Warden, who gets control of his gala at the right moment, picks up a double, and 3-0. We're done with our ecos, and we'll be on to the guns.
The spray is real for Warden. Did you catch that? Up on top of the sandwich?
Yeah,
just
like, please hit him. Please hit him.
holding the trigger down because you're afraid to stop shooting because they might headshot you and you might get a random headshot on the player in jungle. But all important first buy round here, so this will set the tone.
How many times have you done that where you're spraying the FAMAS with the Galil and you tell yourself, I have not practiced the Galil or the FAMAS enough. You tell yourself that you're going to, and you never do in the next aim map session.
I just don't ever use it, ever, unless I pick it up. And
or
then
that
tap.
policy. Or that.
Yeah.
2-3 on the split. Look at the mid control. Everybody's flashed, and we have a set piece here developing at A. Moses wants that smoke to be thrown at jungle, and the bomb, most importantly, is designated for A. Connor knows that the split is on. He has one, had the chance to pick up two if he could have got that first shot clean. That leaves Warden very wounded, but still alive. CyberRev waits, and Skylar is close. One shot for Warden was all it took, then the next by the firebox, and Storm in the open. Literally out in the open, in a spray down. A firing squad engages Storm, and he walks out alive. That should have never happened, but still it worked out. No bomb planted. It's a face-off with a minute left, and there is really no incentive to plant the bomb until it's safe. So Moses designates that it might be safe now. We're going to get it going, and here's the fight. 4 burst. Relics is down. Peter's the last, and 1-on-2. He's faced this situation before, and he's got enough health to pull it off. His opponents have just barely enough. One at Tetris. He sees the head. He knows Storm is close. Excuse me, he knows Moses is close. He knows Storm's head is up on the top of the Tetris. Still, he gets pushed back and forth, and eventually he succumbs to his wounds. United5 has 4.
Once again, Storm and Moses, 2 players playing together there, except the roles were reversed this time. Moses was the bait for the remainder of the CT team, which was only 1 player, Peter, and then Storm was the player actually making the shots happen. And it's just, those guys play together. You can tell they play together a lot, and they work so well. That's a good duo for a 2 versus 1.
The offense for United5 is mostly bunch with 1 split thus far. In 4 rounds, we've seen 1, 2, 3 split, and the rest have been just single train supporting players, making sure that they don't lose any guns. And rightfully so. They've done their math this time, and this time they'll know that as they enter the site together, they'll probably have to protect guns in case CZs claim them. They don't want to let anybody pick up an AK, and rightfully, there comes the spray. 2 alive for CyberRevolution. Relics and Peter are charged for the retake.
What was the jump that Warden did, trying to come off the balcony there in B? Did you catch that?
Yeah, he's starting to lose control of his fingers. It's a little late in the night. Wasn't gonna say anything, but
I snapped over to his view as he was the first one, and a random jump and spray caught me off guard.
Peter's flash, and he gives away his position, fires a CZ shot, still picks up a kill, and gets traded. So maybe a victory for him. Relics at the last, and if Skylar just charges the bomb site, he's going to find it completely empty. Though he didn't have a kit, so it doesn't matter. 5-0, United5 looks exceptionally strong.
Doing very well. Making their shots happen. They're connecting. They're just out shooting here, especially Storm. Storm is really holding it down right now. Warden also doing good. Did really good last map. But I think the big story initially, we're into our 6th round here, but PTR, only 1 kill so far.
Well, when you're ecoing as much as this, think that they've had the lost pistol round, the ecos, a gun round, another set of ecos. There's not a whole lot to be gleaned by that statistically. It's just you can't read into that too much because he did play very well last game. A set piece for United5, and they are not doing what you want them to do. They're slowing it down, and they're playing with as many utilities as possible. Relics is behind that far side firebox again, wanting to catch somebody off guard. TM looks, and he gets flashed by his own teammate, though they kind of know that Connor's in that location. Here comes the engagement. A double missed by Connor as his bullets go just a hair wild. 3 versus 3, 3 versus 2. Peter steps out and misses the shot that could have evened it all up, so it'll be that much harder unless Good Karma does that. Auto Sniper and Op versus double AK look, and over the top of the E-box is Storm. That means Good Karma. He's got the clutch on his hands. And though he struggled in the first map, this is his moment to redeem himself. He stares down that first bomb box and saw that the T has tucked himself into that. That's XP3. And Storm back at the Tetris. XP3 hits the 3 burst. 6-0. United5 is perfect on DE Mirage thus far.
Now, I wasn't saying I didn't want United5 to play slow. I didn't want them to play extremely slow like they did against Complexity. They played down to 30 seconds and tried to execute. They're only wasting 15 seconds of the initial round to get their setups correctly and just look for that initial fast push, which isn't coming They wait that 15 seconds, and then they go on the round.
Yes. That flash ignored by TM, and they have to know, due to the footsteps, that Skylar has to be close. One for him and a double. He's done his job. That fire lands at the feet of the couple of T's there. And the take for A looks almost complete. They've sealed off jungle. They could walk into the site, but PTR, or Peter, wants to make sure that that doesn't happen. And then look at this. CyberRevolution is starting to rotate just as fast as they did in Cash. United5 wants to teach them to not rotate that fast. So when they come over, and they've all filtered in through wherever it is that they rotated from, that sound bait heading back out has made PTR, Peter, move all the way to the opposite side of the map. That displacement could win United5 the round.
Yeah, now you're going to have that overload 3 versus 2 situation here, unless Mainline or Good Karma are able to pick up a frag as they push.
Mainline is remained disciplined. His teammate Good Karma also waits with him at CT, or ticket, whatever you'd like to call it. And their discipline is about to pay off. As long as they hit one shot. There's the moment. Mainline calls for his teammates. There's the first. Has a silenced weapon. So it looks like that Warden didn't immediately identify where his opponent was. There's the next. Now it's just Moses. At Tetris. Badly wounded. Looks for jungle. And is surrounded. CyberRevolution is on the board. 6-1.
I like the rotate from PTR there. Not getting too aggressive with it. Not trying to rotate all the way back into B. Just worked his way up through underpass to control that. It was a smart play, but it was a good hold back for CyberRevolution, Mainline, and Good Karma to hold that down and prevent United5 from being able to get in there and get the bomb planted. But Warden jumping into the site, not full clearing. They never cleared CT, and he runs in with the bomb out.
Looks like Storm throws the mid smoke that may have just gone a little bit awry. Let's check that out. Did it? I want to know. No, it landed correctly. That smoke will be for the connector, and we'll have movement down mid as the T's have seized control, flashed the ladder room, and Mainline just tucks himself back in. He'll have an engagement in just a moment. There's the shot, has it, and he made it good. TM's down, and this A take is now flanked by the CTs. There's the trade. Warden comes up over the top of the sandwich, and Mainline now in pursuit comes through the window room. XP3 waits for him at jungle, and there's the burst. Beautiful shot. Really, really nice stuff. 3 versus 3, and this play can be attributed to Mainline's individual work here. Now Storm finds the top of his hat, his SAS hood, and brings him down. 2 versus 3, and that nade does a ton of damage. The step out there for Good Karma is a little bit over-aggressive, leaving Peter by himself and unable to clutch. 7-1.
Man, I was about to start talking about how Mainline is turning it on at the exact right time. He is turning it on when his team needs it, but the rest of his team really needs to pick it up here. And PTR is struggling. We saw him do so well in first map, and right now he's really struggling to get shots on people. Storm, 13 kills already, though. The out-aim is real right now.
The out-aim. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. The out-aim is real. I'd have to agree with you. Yeah, you're totally right. CyberRevolution's making the right decisions. You saw the disciplined rotates and the right positioning. Just one YOLO play here, some missed shots here or there, letting Moses get away with his bomb plant. You're right. For the most part, you're right. Smokes in, and this time it's going to be for a B take. They've seen this before. They've only seen it go toward A. So this time it's the B players who are tested. TN comes back around, knows that his teammate has just gone down to Mainline. And on this eco round here, it's going to be tough if the T's have already set up shop in the bomb site. So Connor's down. The next is going to be possibly Peter. It is. And the last may be Relics himself. There's the head of your opponent. 4 consecutive missed shot, and Storm, well, if you let him live like that, he's going to come after you. So he's flashed, and here comes the chase.
See if Relics is able to get some guns here. Got a little bit of damage on Storm. Not enough, though.
Relics looks off the kill. He actually saw Storm for just a moment, but I think he prioritized the player in the sights incorrectly and then lost his battle. 8-1.
I think he was hoping for the player to drop back and not get too aggressive on him. But it didn't work out in his favor. If they had the numbers advantage, they were going to play that a little aggressive as they had the gun advantage too. They had to know that he was almost out of ammo. He'd already sprayed the CZ quite a few times, so he was low, and United5 going to do the slow play A.
United5 is content to bunch up, knowing that if they have players who are about to be pushed, maybe suicide pushed even, they should be able to support. So 4-1 has been their split of choice the entire game here. PTR, Peter, just coming to the jungle to op. He misses a critical shot, and now with the losses incurred from the CT side, it seems to be the same story playing over and over again.
The flank, though, if Good Karma is able to get this off here, this could really set this round down, and TM's all over it, though.
Luckily, he's chosen the right avenue. He will be going through the palace, and if he just makes a single tile noise, TM will know. He will absolutely know.
Isn't XP3 up there, too, watching that? No, XP3 is dropping back.
It's all on him. The bomb ticks, and these are clearly exits now. You can see by the positioning of the CTs way over that the hunt is on. Good Karma could go for the huge ninja, but more than likely, he's just looking for an exit that he's not going to get.
Wow, I don't understand how PTR just missed that shot, and they are about to get crunched on right here if they're not able to get kills. Mainline gets one, though.
And TM escapes back into the bomb site. So 9-1. U5 plays that one pretty darn near perfectly.
Yeah, United5 playing very good here. I like what they're doing. It's a combination of how United5 normally plays and what United5 learned from playing against Complexity, their slow style. They need to speed it up just a little bit, try and see if they can get an aggressive push, which they got a couple times now. I think it was Skylar who was pushing ramp twice now. Got caught, so it's working for him.
Look at this. The bomb carrier is Warden. He is at bomb site B by himself. These set pieces are in. United5 will probably push into the site to make this convincing. And as they begin to fight, look for the minimap to show the rotates from the CTs. Here's the engagement. The first battle is won by Relics, who's dropped XP3. And the rotate back around to support is on. Look at Warden in the site. Good Karma's come back to hunt him. He hears the beep, and he's telling his teammates the CTs are trying to now exfiltrate, leave. Good Karma doesn't know he didn't hear the beep. And now he does. He's just gathered himself. He just put 2 and 2 together. His teammates say it's not an A, it's got to be a B. Here comes the retake force. Mainline jumps through, tries to make the hero play, and gets sprayed down from the jail side. Here's a 3-on-3, and we've seen 3-on-3s plenty today.
Are they able
Engagement
to get this?
won mostly by United5. Peter engages, sprays through, and brings down Warden. 1-on-1, TM is ready, and he sees the committed defuse. He got the defuse!
My goodness.
He couldn't control his rifle at all. TM completely lost it. But I will temper it by saying that United5 is up by a huge margin.
Wow, rounds like that, that's not good. That is really not good. If he would have just sprayed at the wall, I think it would have scared him enough to try and get... Oh, Storm's just timed out.
Yeah, I'm looking for that pause. The reason I stopped talking for a moment is just to assess whether or not we're going to pause or wait for the next freeze time. Looks like freeze time.
Yeah, we're going to get it in freeze time here.
You could see United5 at the beginning of the round, after the freeze time ended, they were talking to each other or whatever, but they were in spawn looking at each other with their player models being like, really? Like, really?
You could see the confusion on the player model's face.
Yeah, behind their shades. Yeah.
Yes, behind the shades. The aviators don't block the sadness.
So United5 is going to bunch up smartly without 5 players. You want to try to overload one bomb site with numbers. Relic sprays in through the, through the balk, or under the balk, and 2-on-2, or 2-on-3, is the trade-off. Whoa, run over, bulldozed. Mainline just blows away Warden. That leaves XP3 fighting for his life. He's got 1 at CT, 1 in the jungle, 1 at E-box, and he's most likely has figured this out. So the first one, if he could have connected the headshot, would have been a real nice caveat, nice feather in his hat, but now his odds are pretty slim. Wins it, finally.
Make 2 of those.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of those to make, and he'll leave the site. He has the bomb, remember this. So with 40 seconds, he could fake the reverse, he could go full-on reverse, and it's more interesting to know what the behavior of Peter and Mainline are behind this.
Oh, man.
They're not moving.
Oh, man, if he continues to sprint, they are not biting on it at all. They are convinced he's going to throw the double.
Yeah.
He's going to get it. He's got the plant right here.
He's got it. He's got it. I don't normally do this, but one viewer has asked for a DDoS. Ban that guy. Ban that guy. XP3 is going to ambush. Peter has 1, could turn into a double. Stops his spray and will try to re-engage. Mainline, he's clutched the round.
Man.
You know what? If TM makes a mistake, XP3 can come back and make the big play.
1 versus 3 clutch. Sold that so well. Was it him that faked last time. No, there's 2 players left alive that actually faked the rotate back to B, and they sat at A, and the CTs bid on it. And this time they're like, nah, CyberRev, we're not biting on this. You guys are throwing a fake. You're just going to rotate back through apartments and try and take A on us. And it did not pay off. Man, I don't see why they wouldn't have split one player after about 15 seconds.
So if you're paying attention to Storm reconnecting, he has $800. We could match medic, and we do have match medic. So I'm wondering if we can check the staff back in to see if we're gonna have one momentary pause to figure this all out. There it is. Everybody just exploded, and we have money again.
We look good to go. Nothing on back end either, so we're styling.
We're back. We're back. Big play by XP3. I liked it. You liked it.
Man, that was such a good play though. Getting aggressive and like most people try and sit back and wait for it, but he got a little bit aggressive, tried to push into the kitchen, made one happen, and then forced mainline to make a super aggressive decision there as the timer was ticking down on him. Had to jump through the window, and he was just on top of him. XP3 was ready for it.
He was, and our half is winding down now. CyberRevolution has really been abused in this half. It's hard for me to say this with USPs and CZs and P250s, but they need to win out. They absolutely must.
Yeah, at this point, you're hemorrhaging right now. You need to get every round that you can.
We're going to have 4 players, including the bomb, walk into bomb side A. No nades this time, and since nobody's peeking, there's no engagement to be had. It's just a sudden greeting. Warden finds one, finds that a second is in the closet. Mainline drops down onto the top of... Oh, no! Ninja plays fell apart at the seams. They were all well thought out and just unable to execute. 11-2.
You got a 4-man stack at a bomb site. All the terrorists go there. You have to force at least one more rebuy than that. There was only one rebuy, and I believe that was Warden. You got to get more kills than that on those stacks. To make that at least monetarily successful for you, you need to get more kills than that. You need to force them to spend more money.
We're sort of at the part of the half where money is no longer your concern. It's just rounds. You can't do so much damage at this point with everybody at 5-digit bank accounts. It's more about yourself. Note one thing. Peter has a scout. Mainline did significant damage to Warden. He's down to 12 HP, but alas, it may not amount to anything because he's still charging forward. TM takes a shot by the scout of Peter, who is in mid, and the take at B is obvious, so the rotates are mostly accomplished.
Ooh. Warden going down to mid. That was a little out of character.
And the rest of the T-Force now tries to force their way into the site. A spray down for Storm does significant damage again, and Peter is still wounded after that initial engagement. 2 versus 2. Wounded. XP3 at 12 HPs. Peter at 4 HPs. Storm just trying to figure out where is everybody. Ooh. Nice falling shot. XP3 is the last. And the XP3 misses his flick shot with a P250. Misses 3 consecutive P250 shots. 50 seconds remain, and his bomb lies in front of him. At the kitchen is Connor, and Peter has moved to the white truck. What? Jumping scout just happened.
He pulled that perfectly when the drop started to get the accuracy, and that was ridiculous.
Jumping scout just happened.
That was ridiculous. At that, the window for him coming down from when his head was peeked over that wall was so small to get that shot perfect.
Entertaining stuff. CyberRevolution has 3 to United5's 11. 4-1 split. We've seen this before, and they've smoked off the ramp this time. Relic stands close and waits for the push through. Likewise, Good Karma at B notices that there's no footsteps here, so he withdraws, and the rotates start leaning just a little bit toward A. Flashes in. Connor waits, ignores most of the flashbangs, and flicks off most of them. 2 M4s spraying, and they connect. Connor has a triple, looks for the apartment side, and Storm responds. So 2 versus 2 after the fast play by Storm. 2 headshots. That nade may just do the trick. Double nade to end the half. Mainline has a double. 11-4 is your halftime score. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Misled. If we're not seeing a great half out of it, we're seeing highlight kills every which way. By the way, thank you to our partners over at CSGO Lounge and also game servers. But I'm at least thoroughly entertained. Like, this is funny and really fun to watch.
There's a lot of stuff happening here that either shouldn't be happening or is just amazing. And man, the scout kill was ridiculous. I was about to just freak out on CRev for not capitalizing on the fact that Connor got a 3K and they couldn't win that round. It looked like it was going to go down. Man.
This is an all-important round, and XP3 has upped their odds just a little bit with the nice-looking P2000 headshot out at mid, and the second engagement by Peter is designed to trade him out. So XP3 walks away, and he's won that battle, comes back toward the mid window, sees players coming back around, and the charge through Good Karma steps out just a little bit too wide, exposes himself to 2 CTs, and it's falling apart again for CyberRevolution, who started so strong in that second half of DE Cash, are now finding that United5 is warmed up, are playing at a high level, and are hitting that 4th, that 5th, that 6th gear.
The big question mark here is United5 is poised to try and win these, or they're poised to win these 2 next rounds if CyberRev doesn't get an eco off. If they don't win this round, do they force the buy to try and stop the wins from rolling through for United5 on the next round?
I hope so, only to engineer the epic comeback. You understand?
Yeah, because at that point, if you don't really force the buy going into this next round, that's a tough comeback to have happen.
It is, and the offensive maneuvers for CyberRevolution is an inverse of United5's. They'll send the majority to the apartments and attempt to storm the cubby. Smoke down, and the FOMA spray by Moses is just a little bit off, who actually targets his own teammate. Still, it's all good until right... Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Sorry, Peter. I tried to make you look good, Peter. You didn't give me anything to work with. 13-4.
Those are positional kills that you have to make happen. You move your way over what used to, or what is sandwich, to what used to be the E-box. You're on top of a player. You need to get that kill, pick up his weapon, because you're immediately in the face of a second CT who just rotated his way from mid into connector. If you can get that kill, that's going to open up that whole mid lane, at least for you to try and retreat and force some more rebuys.
We have a speed play to B, and the pain train is arriving on scene. Warden, our number 7, is fighting underneath. Shoots, finds Storm, is doing an adequate job to cover him up. 1 left to kill, and that's Peter. That eco round was mostly a throwaway design for a bomb plant, and they didn't do that. So 14-4, we're on to our game point.
So my question was just answered. They didn't go for the buy there on that 3rd round. They didn't opt to try and make it happen. So now they're going to be fighting an extremely uphill battle here. They only have 2 rounds of leeway if they don't want to be in the loss. So, I mean, 1 round, you lose 1 round right here, you have to go to overtime, which is, man, I would have went for the surprise buy.
Playing for the long-range tie, as you have adequately described, it's tough. I'm gonna go with the obvious and unlikely. United5, we should extol them for their performance today, having established themselves as a very, very strong-looking team. A double kill for XP3 before the reply comes from the underpass. Relics trade him out, and takes the heavier casualties of his team with 2 down. Peter and Connor already off the map. 2 fairly important players to this lineup, but it's not their map today. I think it's mainlines and U5s.
Yeah, United5 is playing extremely well right now. They're just out shooting. If you take a peek, oh wow,
sliver
Storm.
shot. Yeah, very, very, very good looking sliver shot there. Good Karma and mainline are the last. They have now begun to enter the site. They'll charge through. It was Good Karma about to charge the smoke. I wonder, still 1 behind the firebox. That leaves mainline by himself up on top. Tries to flick the shot onto Warden. He doesn't walk away with it. 15-4. We're on to that game point.
I really wish CyberRev would have went for the early buy there to try and prevent that from happening. At least you gave yourself another chance at preventing this from getting to 15 rounds so fast. Even if they did lose it, it doesn't matter whether or not the save is going to happen like 1 round from now or the next round from now, because the save will happen if you lose in 1 round or the next. It made no sense. That didn't come out correct.
I followed the thought process here. I should point out, though, I'm fairly impressed that CyberRevolution is composed enough to keep going with the set pieces despite the fact that they're down by this much. Unfortunate for them that XP3 caught Good Karma off guard. Smokes and flashes now primed, and it will be counter flashes that come from United5 that slow down CyberRev just ever so slowly. We could be seeing the end of our game here, And if it is, that means we do not see Season, the last map in the BO3 selection. Here comes the set piece that we were just talking about. That was slowed down earlier. No movement. And a pick. Warden was aggressive on the flank. His death on the minimap represented right there.
That's huge for them, being able to force that and look at the rotate. Only one player. Maybe if he can get a pick over here, they might be able to sell that fake over at A.
It might be a death cam fake. And U5 is not biting on it. Not even a little.
They did rotate a player now in the kitchen, though.
Yeah.
That's going to be helpful.
It seems like an essential thing to do. Rotate one out, but for the most part, the A players just say, we're here, we're good, we're dug in.
And they're still holding 2 here. The mid guy is probably going to rotate. I could see Storm rotating very early here.
Fighting 4 players is not going to take 20 seconds. They're going to have to force a plant here, and I can't help but feel like they took just a hair too long. PM waits on the site, is flashed, and the engagement lets him catch everybody from the back. And there's the, oh, not the last. Mainline fights in a 1 versus 2, and in the smoke, our last find Storm with his knife out, juggles, jukes, Drive is not being hit. He throws the map away. He just says, I can't handle the pressure anymore. 16-4 is our final, but at least Mainline didn't die. You're watching